concept of civilization. A civilization is a complex human society, usually made up of different cities with certain characteristics of cultural and technological development. In many parts of the world, early civilizations formed when people began to come together in urban settlements. However, defining what civilization is and what societies fall under that designation is a hotly contested argument even among today's anthropologists. A civilization is an advanced state of human society. There are seven characteristics that define a civilization. 1. Stable food supply, system of government, highly developed culture, a written language, social structure, a religious system, and advanced technology. Be careful not to associate civilization with civilized and everyone else as a barbarians or primitive. A civilization is a group of people with their own language and way of life. Some examples of civilizations are the Greeks, the Romans, the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Vikings. Civilization comes from the Latin word civis, meaning someone who lives in a town. When people are civilized, they live in large organized groups like towns, not in small tribes or family groups. A civilization is organized. This means it has laws, culture, a regular way of getting food, and ways to protect its people. Most civilizations have agriculture, a way to grow food, and a system of government such as kings and queens or elections. The people in a civilization usually speak their own language and often have a religion of some kind. The adults teach their children the ways they want them to know. For thousands of years, all civilizations have had some kind of writing. The earliest civilizations developed in river valleys because the land there was good for farming. One of the earliest civilizations formed was in Mesopotamia. The land was between the Tigris and the Euphrates River in what is now Iraq. People first started settling there in about 4500 BC. Another early civilization developed along the Nile River in about 2925 BC. It is now known as Ancient Egypt. By 2500 BC, a civilization had formed in the valley of the Indus River. This was located around what is now the border between India and Pakistan. Ancient Chinese civilization developed by about the 1700 BC along the banks of the Yuan-He or the Yellow River. Let us now look at the different elements or characteristics of a civilization. 1. There must have some kind of writing. They had their own sacred writing and they carved writing into stones. They also had scribes. Government. They had powerful empire and a strong army. The arts. They built religious buildings and carved beautiful artwork into stone. Technology. They had wheelbarrows which carried goods, irrigation canals to water crops. They also had equipment for war. Social structure. They had different social classes. Some civilizations had kings, queens, emperors, merchants, artisans, scribes, farmers, slaves, etc. There's also religion. Different people had different thoughts and religions. There were temples and churches for people that followed various religions. Stable food supply. Most ancient civilizations were developed along the banks of rivers, thus earning the name river civilizations. Rivers were essential for agricultural and for domestic purposes.